Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You'll understand the 7 demons within you. You'll understand that whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway, so.
Yeah, we living in a world where the rules don't apply. They say we gotta follow, but we ready to fly. System got us boxed in, trying to keep us small. But we rise like the phoenix, we ain't scared to brawl. They feeding us lies, but we see through the smoke. We're the voice of the people, we're ready to provoke. They want us to divide, but we're stronger as one. It's breaking chains, taking names, yeah, we getting it done. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. Fist in the air, yeah, we taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. In the world of division, they showed us how to share. But the weight of our sorrows, they never taught us to bear. We split our joys and laughter, but the pain remained untold. A burden we carry alone, a story left untold. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're never shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. We learned to divide our dreams and multiply our fears. But the ache in our hearts only grew with passing years. They gave us all the answers, except how to heal. The scars that run so deep, wounds that time can't seal. Yeah, they taught us how to share, but only the good. Smiles and laughter like we understood. But deep down inside, there's a storm we hide. Pain in our hearts, we're just trying to ride. Put on a mask, yeah, we play the part, but nobody sees the cracks in the hearts. We share our dreams, the highs and the lows, but when it comes to hurt, we just close the doors. We share the fun times, deflect the pain, laughing in the sunshine, dancing in the rain. But the shadows linger, they creep and they crawl, breaking us down, but we don't share it all. We got hate in our hearts, but we keep concealed. Taught to share the joy, but wounds, they stay unhealed. They say love was easy to divide, but the heartache never subsides. We try to split everything into two, but the pain lingers strong and true. Shared our dreams, divided our fears, but the sorrow remained through the years. No matter how we tried to let go, the weight of our suffering continued to grow. Now we're apart trying to heal, but some wounds are too deep to conceal. They said splitting up will set us free, yet the pain lingers in you and me. In a world where rules are set in stone, the system's grip tightens, we're not alone. Bound by chains of majestic greed, against the odds we fight to be free. Mighty forces try to keep us down, but our spirits rise, refusing to drown. Defying norms, breaking through the mold. In this battle of wills, our story is told. As the clash continues day by day, we stand united, come what may. For in this world where rules don't apply, our strength and unity will never die. They tried to silence our dreams, but we're loud and clear. With every step forward, conquering fear. They can't hold us back. We're the fire and the flame in this battle for freedom. We're all in the game. They say it's just a game, but we're playing for keeps. With the strength of the many, we're shattered elites. No more puppets on strings, we're cutting the ties. With our eyes on the prize, we're reaching for the skies. So let's stand together, let's break down the walls. In this fight for our future, we'll answer the calls. From the ashes, we'll rise like a storm. Riders ignite, it's us versus the system, and we're ready to fight. They building walls, but we're digging tunnels. With every step we take, we're shaking the bundles. From the streets to the courts, we're raising our voice. In a world full of noise, we're making the choice. They want to keep us blind, but we see the light. Knowledge is power, and we're ready to fight. From the corners of the city to the halls of the state, where the heartbeat of the struggle can't afford to wait. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. Now we stand here broken, searching for some light, hoping for a way out of this never-ending night. But through it all, we find strength in each other's embrace. Together we'll face tomorrow and find solace in this space. They say don't bring the drama, keep it all light. But every night I'm fighting these demons in sight. Whispers in my mind, yeah, they echo when they shout. While I'm smiling on the surface, I'm breaking without. We're sharing the laughter, but what's underneath? A battlefield of sorrow, a war with no peace. We're warriors in silence, but nobody knows how the pain that we carry just grows and it grows. In a world of lessons learned, they taught us how to stand and burn. But the scars we hide deep inside are the ones that never subside. We followed all rules they made, but the emptiness never fades. Their wounds like knives, cutting through even wounds that always grew. They painted pictures of success, but couldn't fix what's left of us. Now we're left to bear the strain of the pain that lingers, never wanes. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. riders ignite. So remember this moment, remember this space, remember this sound. We're the voice of the future, and we won't back down. In the face of oppression, we'll stand up tall. It's us versus the system, and united we'll fall. Riders show them how we unite. Yeah, we all got dreams, but we stuck in the grind. Looking back at the past, but it's time to unwind. Everyone can do it, just gotta take that step. Stop dwelling on the losses, let's rewrite the rep. Hating on the president, calling him corrupt. But let me break it down, we gotta interrupt. Law's been in place, he's just playing the game. Ain't about the man, it's about the system's name. How do we move forward? Let's add something new. Together we can rise, yeah, that's what we do. Don't get stuck in the past, let the hate fall away. We building the future, let's seize the day. Can't you see? You bleeding all over the matrix. Caught in the hype, man, it's all fake tricks. The medic bag's empty, y'all shit out of luck. Wake up, before you get stuck. Y'all act like y'all in love, but y'all really in love. Lost in the fame and the fortune. You ain't got no sense. You got the influencer fixation. You let them run your life. Red or blue, you're just a puppet with strings, always in strife. You think they care, but they don't give a damn. Just chasing the glow, the celebrity clout. They'll play both sides, the red and the blue, but they're just pulling your strings while you're stuck on your move. You're waiting for someone to tell you you're in luck, but mommy and daddy ain't coming, they're not in the cut. You're so blinded by the fame, the glitz and the glam, you forget what's real and who you really are. Wake up and see that you're just a pawn in the game. The red and the blue, they're all just the same. Stop being a puppet and take control of your life and break free from the chains. It's time to ignite. How do we move forward? Let's add something new. Together we can rise. Yeah, that's what we do. Don't get stuck in the past. Let the hate fall away. We building the future. Let's seize the day. Can't you see? You're bleeding all over the matrix. Caught in the hype. Man, it's all fake tricks. The medic bag empty. Y'all shit out of luck. Wake up before you get stuck. Yo, I see the struggle, I feel the pain, but we can't let the darkness keep us chained. We got the power, the voice is the might. Let's come together, turn wrongs into right. Everyone's a player, so step to the front. No more division, let's rise from the blunt. It's not just about politics, it's a call to unite. Stand tall, move forward, let's ignite the light. Yeah, we're all in this together, no need to divide. Let's focus on the future, let the love be our guide. From the streets to the halls, let's make change. Break the chains of the past, let's rearrange. Y'all really stuck? Puppets with strings attached, waiting for mommy and daddy to tell them they give a fuck. Y'all wondering why y'all stuck? Damn, can't y'all see? Y'all bleeding all over the matrix and the medic bag is empty. Soldier, in the game of life. You're playing with invisible strings, trying to prove your worth, but you're just a pawn in a bigger fight. They say you're just a number, another statistic in the system, but you're a soul with a story to tell. So stand up tall, break those strings, prove to the world that you're more than just a marionette. Don't let them control your destiny. You're the master of your own fate. Don't be afraid to go after and take. How do we move forward? Let's add something new. Together we can rise. Yeah, that's what we do. Don't get stuck in the past. Let the hate fall away. We're building the future. Let's seize the day. Can't you see? You're bleeding all over the matrix. Caught in the hype. Man, it's all fake tricks. The medic's bag is empty. Y'all shit out of luck. Wake up before you're stuck. Everyone can do it. How do we move forward? How do we do this? Just add something to it. Some stay stuck in the past. That's not how we last. Y'all hating on the president saying he corrupt. I don't know who he is. I feel like he's implementing what already exists. We gotta rise above the hate and focus on progress. Together we can make a change and leave behind the mess. It's easy to point fingers and place blame, but true change comes from taking action and making a change. Let's unite and work together for a better tomorrow. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, let's focus on what we can borrow. The power lies within us to create a new path, to break free from the chains of doubt and wrath. Believe in ourselves and each other as we strive for greatness. Together we can overcome any obstacle that tries to hold us back. Think about it. It's a little bit of food for thought. Yo. Damn. Man. Y'all act like y'all in lust, chasing shadows lost in the glitter and dust. Scrolling through the feeds like it's life or death. But these influences don't care, man. They just cashing checks. Stuck in a cycle, puppets on a string. Waiting for likes, like it's everything. Red or blue, y'all fighting over crumbs. While the real world's burning, y'all just hum and strong. Hum strong until you know.
Religiously, understand the seven principles of hell, you understand the seven demons within. You understand the whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but it mean. But anyway, so, from a spiritual standpoint now.
In the old days, love was pure and true. Now it's just a show for all to view. People use it for their own gain, leaving hearts in sorrow and pain. Once a sacred bond, now just a game. Hearts are broken, never quite the same. Love used to be a beacon bright, now it's lost in the shadows of the night. Oh, how we long for those days of yore, when love was honest forevermore. But now it's twisted, tainted and cruel, leaving us drowning in an endless. Our hearts, we search for something real. Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. Continue to have a blessed and humble afternoon. This is y'all shorty Racheal. Let me welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life. Brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast. Yo, listen, today's topic, when mothers become the problem. All right, we got Teresa Martin and Karlissa Saffold. All right, I'm hoping I said her name right, but we're going to talk about them a little bit, all right? Listen. It is a lot going on out here, right? So, okay, y'all, listen, let's talk about it. I keep getting sent these videos of Teresa Martin and Karlissa Saffold, right? And I'm not gonna lie, watching them got me thinking about the bigger picture, because this ain't just about two mothers. It's about the blueprint of motherhood itself, all right? We've reviewed, reacted, and dissected different types of mothers on here before, right? But let's be real. Once you bring a child into this world, your life stops being just about you, right? That's the raw truth. You gave life to another human being, a tiny soul who didn't ask to be here. And now your job is to, rear them, protect them, guide them until they can, until they can stand on their own. That's not optional. That's the assignment. And too many people out here are failing the assignment while pretending, all right, they're passing the test. And it ain't like that, all right? So, like I said, let me take a minute. Let me welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life. Let's Talk About It podcast, all right? Teresa Martin and Karlissa Saffold, all right? Both under fire, both mothers. One lost her child. The other one has a child that is wilding out, all right? And I say that apple don't fall too far from the tree, right? When it comes to Karlissa and your face situation, it's a lot going on, all right? Man, listen. Both these mothers are both getting dragged, all right? See, Teresa Martin and Karlissa Saffold represent two sides of a coin. I'm not going to sit here and lie. That's what they represent, two sides of a coin, okay? And it's a coin that keeps flipping, all right, in our communities. One side is mothers who think parenting is a performance, all right? Something you can, turn off. How can I say? Turn on and off, all right? Depending on who's watching. The other side, a mother, who confuses control with care, who thinks domination equals guidance, all right? But, let's call it out, all right? Let's call it what it is. This idea, all right? Let's call out this idea what it really is real quick, all right? Like, parenting is not a stage play. It's not about clout. It's not about proving you're that mom online. Parenting is about sacrifice, about putting your child's needs above your ego.
All right. If you can't do that, then you're not raising a child. You're raising chaos. And I don't get tired of saying that. I've said that time after time after time. All right. And let's be bold here. Too many mothers act like their kids are, how can I say, accessories. All right. They dress them up, parade them around, but when it comes to, time to actually teach, protect, and guide, they vanish. That's not motherhood, all right? That's selfishness dressed up as, baby clothes. Teresa and Karlissa, Teresa, right? Teresa, let me say her name right. And Karlissa might be trending right now, but they're just examples of a bigger, how can I say, epidemic. All right. We've got mothers who want the title, but not the responsibility, who want the, how can I say, the praise, but not the accountability. And the truth is this: you can't call yourself a mother, all right, if you're still putting yourself first. That's not motherhood. That's abandonment, all right, in disguise. Now, don't get it twisted, all right? I'm not saying all mothers, all right, can't have lives, dreams, or how can I say, identities, all right? We should, all right? But once you become a parent, your priorities shift, all right? That tiny person you brought, all right, into this world comes first, period, point blank. And if you're not ready for that, then you weren't ready to be a parent. That's the harsh truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Teresa and Karlissa might be the names in the spotlight, right? But the conversation is bigger than them. It's about the culture of parenting, all right, that says, I'll do me and my kids will figure it out. Nah, all right? Your kid doesn't figure it out alone. They figure it out because you taught them, because you showed up, and because you sacrificed. Listen, let's call it out. All right, let's call out the hypocrisy. All right, while we're here. Some mothers love to scream, I'm doing the best I can, while simultaneously, all right, dragging their kids through cycles of neglect, projection, all right, and chaos. Doing your best doesn't mean, all right, doing the bare minimum. Doing your best means, breaking cycles, all right, setting boundaries and refusing to pass down pain like it's a, family tradition. If you're repeating the same mistake your parents made and you're proud of it, then you're not doing your best, all right? You're recycling trauma. And that's what, I see when I look at these videos. Recycled pain, recycled chaos, and recycled excuses. All right. So let me just say this right here real quick. Motherhood is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's not about control. It's about guidance. Right? It's not about clout. It's about sacrifice. Teresa Martin and Karlissa Saffold, Saffold. All right, might be the names trending, but the real conversation is about us, about how we show up for our kids, about how we break cycles, about how, we stop treating children like burdens or props. Because at the end of the day, your child is not your enemy. Your child is your legacy. And if you can't honor that, then you're not just failing your child. You're failing yourself, your community, in the future. All right. And I'm not here to bash nobody. All right. I'm just here to talk. All right. Like, these are the, I guess, trending conversations. I'm not so sure. All right. But, y'all send me videos, I'll watch. I also have, I'm also subscribed. I'm not just a content creator. All right. I'm a subscriber. I'm subscribed to a lot of content creators to review and react to these videos. All right. So shout out to the ones that, send me these, videos on my DMs, ask me for my opinions and my perspectives, and we can have conversations about this, man. Shout out to y'all, man, because y'all listen, y'all help me see a different perspective of things differently from what it is that I just perceive. All right. But let's talk about relationships. All right. Because the way love, all right, how can I say? Because the way love or fail to love shows up in your parenting. Too many people think they can separate the two. But no. Real shit. You can't do that. All right. Your kids are watching every move. They see how you handle conflict, how you treat your partner, how you carry yourself when love gets messy. And the reality is, right, if your relationship is built on chaos, lies, and disrespect, don't be surprised when your kid inherits that blueprint. You scream do better at your child while modeling dysfunction in your own house. Awareness means realizing that your love, all right, that your love life is not private when you're, how can I say, when you're a parent. All right, if a class, how can I say it? It's a classroom and your kids are the students, right? And this is why I constantly say, yo, on some real shit, that's what they taught us. But in reality, man, we are the students and they are the teachers. Each day that passes by, our kids teaches us something different. All right. And let's be bold. All right. Let's be bold here with this. Stop dragging your kids. All right. Stop. And listen, when I speak in general. So if the shoe fits, wear that bitch. All right. The door's right there. All right. Just make sure the doorknob doesn't hit you with a good little split you. But listen, y'all need to stop dragging your kids into, your relationship dramas. Stop weaponizing them, all right, against your partner. Stop projecting your heartbreak onto their little shoulders. That's not parenting. That's emotional abuse dressed up as survival. Your child is not your therapist. You're a referee, all right? He's not your punching bag. She's not your punching bag. They are your legacy. And if you want to break cycles, start with the way you love. Show them that, love can be healthy, that boundaries can be respected, that repair is possible. Because if you don't, all right, then, Teresa Martin, Karlissa Saffold, and every other mother, all right, every other name, how can I say it? Every other name that we've dragged into this conversation are just mirrors reflecting the same generational mess. And I refuse to let that be, the standard. Ah, shit. We got the madam in the building, yo. Shout out to the madam. Big blessings to the madam, yo. Make sure you listen. Make sure y'all go check out Dish and Dirt, all right? Sheriff Claire, Dish and Dirt, Uncut Dish and Dirt, and come get this smoke, all right? Great conversations, great topics, and this lady is funny as hell. So if you're into all of that, having great conversations, all right, listening to great topics, learning and gaining something out of it, and at the same time laughing, giggling, falling back, relaxing, all right, listening to some good content, make sure y'all go check out the madam, all right, on all 3 of her channels. You won't be disappointed. But let me get back on topic, all right, y'all? Let me get back on topic, all right? Because, listen. Let's get into it, all right? Because Teresa Martin, all right, there's a reason that I just, said all that, all right? I had to get it out my head, all right? Out of my chest and into the mic. Real shit. Because there's a lot going on. Teresa Martin under fire. All right, Karlissa Saffold under fire along with Blueface. They said some crazy ass shit. We're gonna look at the shorts, all right. When we done, talking about Teresa, we won't go on, we're gonna hit on Teresa first, all right, because that's a little more touchy. All right, real shit. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, all right. Losing your child, being told that you're responsible for it, being blamed for it for so many years can make you lose your mental. You see where I'm coming from? But the crazy part about it is, did this all really happen? Was this scripted? Why are they bringing this all up after so long again? You see where I'm coming from? But we're about to get into it. We're about to touch this subject. All right. Teresa Martin, the mother of Kanika Jenkins, all right, the 19-year-old young woman found dead in that hotel freezer back in 2017. Her name has been stamped, all right, into headlines, protests, lawsuits, and whispers across the internet. She became a public figure overnight, fighting for justice, organized marches, and later accepting a settlement from the hotel. But here's the thing. For years, this story has been talked about, dissected, and replayed. And I can't sit here and lie, all right? Listen, something about it always felt off. Something about Teresa's presence, her energy, her way of showing up in the spotlight, it didn't always feel genuine. All right, maybe I could be tripping. All right, listen, let me be raw and uncut with y'all real quick. All right, When your child is taken from you in such a horrific way, the world expects to see grief pouring out like a flood. All right, tears, breakdowns, visible pain. But Teresa is often looked as, like she wanted to find her daughter, but the emotion didn't match the, how can I say, the urgency, the energy. It didn't match. All right, it felt staged, like a performance, like it was for the cameras. And the reality right here is that grief isn't supposed to look like, a press conference. Grief is messy. It's uncomfortable. It's the kind of pain that cracks your voice, all right, and bends your body. But for years, Teresa's public face didn't show that. Like no real tears, no raw breakdowns, just a steady march of appearance that made people question her authenticity. And I'm just wondering, listen, the thing is like, boom, all right, boom, out of nowhere, she surfaces with a mental breakdown years later. Now, listen, I'm not here to say grief has a timeline, all right? Grief is unpredictable, all right? It sneaks up on you. It hits, all right, when you least expect it. I know, all right? I've lost people in my life that have made me get my shit together. All right? Real shit. But the way Teresa's breakdown appeared after years of, composure made people wonder, like, was this real or was this, just convenient? Was this the moment she finally let herself feel, or was this another chapter in a story, that already felt scripted? That's the tension that keeps, this case alive. Not just the tragedy of Kanika's death, but the way her mother's response has been read, judged, and roasted by the public. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Like being in her shoes would make anybody have a mental breakdown, right? Like Teresa Martin's story forces us to confront, right, the uncomfortable truth about public grief. When you lose a child in a way that becomes, national news, your pain is no longer private. It's consumed, analyzed, and critiqued by strangers. And if you don't cry, the way they expect, if you don't, how can I say, collapse the way they imagine, they call you fake. All right, that's the cruel reality. But here's the, reality. If you're going to step into, the spotlight, if you're going to make your grief part of the movement, then you have to understand that people will hold you accountable for how you carry it. And Teresa's way of carrying, it felt too, how can I say it? It left too many questions unanswered. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Like, this isn't just about Teresa, all right? It's about the way we judge mothers in the public eye, all right? We expect them to, be saints, martyrs, perfect symbols of pain and resilience, but real motherhood is complicated. Real grief is complicated. And when the performance doesn't match the expectation, I'm just guessing the roast writes itself, doesn't it? Teresa Martin became a symbol, but symbols are dangerous, right? How can I say, they flatten, right? They flatten the human being beyond it. And maybe that's why her breakdown years later felt so, how can I say, jarring. Because symbols aren't supposed to crack, but humans do. Real shit. Hey, but once again, I could be tripping. All right, I could be overthinking this. I could be overlooking this. But then again, once again, this is just nothing more than just my opinion. All right, and opinions are just like assholes, and we all got them. So let me leave this right here with y'all real quick. All right, Teresa Martin's story is messy. All right, contradictory. All right, and unsettling. It's a reminder that grief doesn't always look the way we expect. But it's also a reminder that when you step into the public arena, your authenticity will be questioned. All right. And that's the reality. If you're going to fight for justice, fight with truth, fight with transparency, fight with the kind of rawness All right, that leaves no room for doubt, because otherwise people will keep asking, was it real or was it performance? And that, and that question will haunt the legacy just as much as the tragedy itself. A lot of people might not understand where I'm coming from. All right, but this story is like really, really wild. All right, when I first heard about this story, all right, it went viral. My baby, listen, my baby has turned 1. All right, my little shorty. And I was, knee deep in battles with the school district, lawsuits, and the kind of stress that makes you, question everything. So when Kanika Jenkins' name hit the headlines, it wasn't just another news story, right? It was a mirror reflecting the chaos of being a parent in a system that doesn't protect our kids. And let me be real. I tried to touch on this case back then, but every time I spoke, I got striked. All right. I was naive, didn't know, how to use disclaimers, didn't know how to, maneuver around the rules to save my life. But today, we're talking about it because silence is not protection, all right? It's complicity. All right. It's been a while since I've touched this topic. And I know that some people are going to be mad about what I say, but let me remind y'all, all right, that's not on me. That's on them. All right. Listen, if you get mad about an opinion, that's your problem. I've always said it. All right. Truth doesn't bend, all right, to comfort. And in my opinion, Teresa Martin's role in this story has always felt off. I've been following this case for years, and the energy around her never set right with me. All right. It looked like she wanted to find her daughter, but it didn't feel genuine. It felt staged, like grief was, how can I say, being performed instead of lived. And that's the reality. All right. When pain looks like a play, people start questioning the script. But I could be wrong once again. All right. So let me be bold. All right. I feel as though Teresa either sold her daughter out. All right. This whole thing was orchestrated as a play, maybe. All right. But that's my perspective. All right. That's my opinion. And I know it's heavy, right? But I'm not here to sugarcoat it, because when you watch someone move through tragedy without the rawness, without the tears, without the breakdowns, that comes, naturally to grief. You start asking questions. And then years later, boom, she surfaces with a mental breakdown, running naked, snapping, unrevealing in public. That's not just grief, all right? That's grief catching up. That's a performance collapsing. And the reality is this: if you build your pain on a stage, eventually the curtains will fall down. People will see you for who you really is. Right? I didn't keep reviewing or reacting to this case because of the strikes. But let's be real, those strikes were just another way of silencing voices that refuse to play nice. And now I think it's time, for some Tragan Productions to step back into, the story, to review, to react, and that's what we're going to do. All right, we are about to get into, not today, but we definitely about to hit some Tragan Productions review and reactions. All right, so listen. We will have to dissect what's really going on, because Kanika Jenkins' death was not just a tragedy; it was a symbol of how young women, especially Black women, are failed by systems, by communities, and sometimes even their own families. And if we don't talk about it, if we don't, how can I say, call out the contradictions, then we're just letting the silence win. All right. The last thing I heard were, the clips of people, the clips that, how can I say it? The last thing I heard was the clips that people had sent me into my DMs. All right. Teresa's running naked, snapping, unrevealing. And I can't help but think, where was this energy when your daughter was taken? Where was this breakdown when the world was demanding the answers? Why now, years later, when the cameras are still watching? What's the contradiction that keeps this case alive? And that's why I say awareness isn't enough. We need accountability. All right. We need to, call out the performance and strip away the scripts. All right. And demand the truth, because Kanika's story deserves more than just silence, more than, stage grief, more than settlements. It deserves justice. But sometimes I can't help but help but wonder and question, like, was this all staged? Like, I was watching Trey Gang earlier, right? And he was saying that, they even had a movie out here on Lifetime right, called A Party Gone Wrong or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And it's here on YouTube. And I remember watching that movie like back in 2022 or 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Right. And now looking at it, I said the same thing. Why does this story kind of like feels like if it was, about Kanika? You see, but hey, the story is surfacing again, the movie, right? And everybody is saying the same thing that I said a few years back. Now that this Kanika Jenkins story is resurfacing as heavy as it is right now, people are asking the same questions that a lot of us were asking 9 years ago, 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, because my daughter is 9 already. So, damn. This shit is wild. Listen, this isn't just about Teresa Martin. It's about the way grief, justice, and motherhood, gets twisted when the spotlight hits. It's about the way systems fail, the way silence kills, the way performance replaces authenticity. And if people get mad at my opinion, so hey, be it, because I'm not here to comfort. I'm here, how can I say confront? And Trigger and Productions is about to do just that. All right. So when we do review and react and call it out until the truth comes out, until the contradictions collapse, until Kanika Jenkins' name is honored with justice, hey, the justice that she was denied, hey, then that's what we'll do. But today, listen, we're gonna look at a small video, all right, that somebody sent me about Teresa Martin running around naked. All right. Hey, like, what's up? Why you change my settings? So here we go. So somebody sent me this local black girl news. All right, Kanika Jenkins haunting her mom. Teresa Martin walks around Chicago naked. All right. I looked at a little bit. This
Local black girl, and today I'm going to be discussing a video or several videos I've been doing regarding Kanika Jenkins' mom and her finally speaking out regarding what happened to her daughter. So in the last few videos I've posted, I've had people in the comments just stating, well, this is just a grieving mom. Everything that she's stating is just coming from grief and that we should give her grace. And although I do believe portions of that to be true, things are getting really bizarre. So in this video, there is a passerby who's alleging that they saw Kanika Jenkins' mom walking around the streets of Chicago naked. It's a couple of very short clips. I'll make sure it's covered up, so obviously this video won't get flagged or anything, but
it's really her fucking mama. I don't know. She just took her clothes off right there. Come back. Girl. No, girl. Oh my God. This is Kanika Jenkins' mama. Hey, wait. Y'all, this is Kanika Jenkins' mama. Wait, come back. Wait, no. Come put your clothes back on.
Why did she strip?
Please come put your clothes back on. Girl,
it do sound like her when she said, please leave me alone. So let's see.
Go home. It's cold. It's cold. Go home. Be still. Yeah, Mom. Come on, go home, baby. Well, look how they fuck my body up. No, okay, put your clothes on and go home. This my blood. We don't like that. Go home, baby. Justice for Kanika. Justice for Kanika, but yes, baby, this is not how you get it. Peace, be still. Please, everybody. I bleed the blood on you. I'm on you. Put your clothes on.
How can this not be a mental health crisis? I just want to know where the family is. Where is everybody? She's not well, y'all. Like, this is not okay by any means.
Nah, she not. She is definitely having. I mean, listen, to have a mental break. I mean, listen, she is definitely having a mental breakdown. All right, because to take your clothes off in the middle of the highway, the street, wherever they at, I'm not sure what part of Chicago they're in. She's definitely in the streets. All right, asshole naked, butt naked. All right, like something's going on in her head. She's screaming for help in all types of ways, and I'm guessing nobody's listening. But what cost is mental health? Because, after she got the settlement, everything was according, to her Gucci. And we haven't heard from her since till now. And I think the settlement was back in 2022 or 2023, if I'm not mistaken.
You guys can hear in the clips, justice for Kenneka. You got people like me who are stating this is obviously mental illness. You have other people on social media stating that this is ritualistic. I don't know about all of this, y'all. All I see is somebody that's not mentally well and is not being helped at all. I say this one time and one time only. All money, not good money. Look at this woman, y'all. She did several lives yesterday, and I'll go ahead and insert some of those clips. In one of them, she was mainly talking about a lot of psychics and stuff that were doing readings on Kenneka's case. A lot of them were talking about how Kenneka was possibly haunting her mom. And, she went off in that live yesterday. But I'm going to tell y'all, I'm starting to believe it. I'm starting to believe that that child is not letting anybody rest because justice was not served for her. Blood money was collected. The public and family members went on with their lives like nothing happened. Whole time we still don't know what happened to Kenneka. I wasn't thinking it before, but now after I saw what I saw yesterday, and then obviously watching this clip, I'm starting to believe that her spirit is really wreaking havoc on her mom's heart, on her mental health.
And I'm starting to see that people back then wasn't ready to receive what a lot of us was telling them. Like, something was off with this case, and a lot of us felt as though that Teresa, either she was a part of it, involved some way, somehow. Either she knew what happened to her daughter and she was keeping it a secret, or her herself was a part of what happened to her daughter. At the end of the day, she still sold her daughter out for money. As a mother, I would have never took that money. You see where I'm coming from? I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Then I was like, maybe she's going to take that money, right? And then flip the scripts on the system. But then it's like, nah, man. A year passed after she collected that money. I was like, I knew it. But see, man, we can't really judge nobody because we're not there. We can only give our opinions, express what we think of the situation. And I feel as though in this situation, man, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, right along, I feel the same as a lot of others. I'm not going to sit here a lot.
Really starting to believe that. Let me go ahead and share these clips.
Where all them YouTube psychic bitches at? Not the ones that I share, because them my peoples right there. Y'all go to them peoples if y'all want some real psychic shit. Ass with the hand of God too. Especially that Candy Star. Where that Candy Star bitch at? I want to slap every motherfucker body was up fight. Come on, bitches. Here go my hand. One at a time, bitch. Bow, bow, bow.
Damn. She talking shit to everybody.
Ha! In a human form. Because I know how to fight with these bitches too. I'm short. But I know how to fight. I give you 2 black eyes at one time. I promise you. With my human form.
She said with my human form.
Try. Say fight me with your human form. I'ma beat your ass and then use my spirit up on your ass. Candy, stop, bitch. Come on. Meditate and tell me what spirit. All you hoes was telling y'all to keep Kenneka. Oh, hold on. Let's put 2 and 2 together. Random news, I love you so.
All right. I'm not going to sit here and lie. She's having a mental breakdown, but she also look like she on something. Real shit. Like, it looked like her head's tilted to the side. She can't keep her dome straight. Like she on something. She's not just having a mental breakdown. She on something. Because if I'm not mistaken from what I've heard, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. All right. This happened before she went out and stripped asshole naked. For those that know a little more, about this than me. All right. Because I'm just getting back into the Kenneka Jenkins story. All right.
So much. Big shout out, my brother. Thank you for staying behind me. Thank you, Trooper. Thank you for the video too. Let them know when they come talk to you that I had already had that video hours before I put it out. It's planned. You can't just do it like this right here. Ask my kids. I knew I was gonna do a show, but I didn't know it was gonna be this. See, God prepared a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Candy Star, did your crackhead ass
Damn.
Oh, come on here. Come on. Go, let's go on live. Come on. Sis, bitch, you want the show. Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch. And what's that that booger bear bitch that use Percocets? Where she at, bitch? Come on, bring your spiritual ass over here, too. Come on, bitch. Me and my girls and my boys gonna tear your ass up. Come on, all you YouTubers against me and my peoples. Come on, so we slap the fuck out y'all. One at a time, we go back. We go machine slap y'all ass like that. Now delete all the motherfuckers. Delete y'all whole motherfucking channel. Random Lose, you stepped in. Any lie y'all put up on me and Kanika, I'm giving y'all today. No, I'll give y'all 2 days. Because Spirit say 2. Oh, that's where the 2 is coming from.
Oh, she's something at a YouTuber. So that's who that is, Candy Styles. She's an editor here on YouTube. I was just looking up who the heck is she talking about. So I'm guessing this YouTuber said something about the Kanika Jenkins story. But I don't see her reacting to anything about Kanika Jenkins. But hey, let's see what Mama Jenkins got to say.
I'm giving y'all 2 days to delete every motherfucking lie on my baby. Because we going to be able to put out the truth. It shouldn't be no motherfucking way. Since y'all thought I was lying, now that y'all see, I stopped the war with this bitch right here. And no, I'm sorry. What this is, God is the head. But God stopped the war. But God. We give all honors and all praise to all. He is the only one true and living God. He told me to keep using but God. Because guess what? Obviously, I ain't gonna go to nothing different. Y'all can say y'all, ye shies and all that. But let me tell you, during the times I was need, so y'all gotta respect me like I'm respecting y'all. I'm still sharing y'all shit. I thank y'all too, but I'm God's daddy. I mean, daughter. I'm God's daughter. So if I'm God's daughter, I'm here. Y'all got to respect me like I respected y'all. Because during the times, during my breaking time, and I needed help. I needed all this guidance that I got now. Y'all spiritual ass saw me then. So bad down, bitches. But anyway, peace be still. Back to you, YouTube.
Damn.
Come on. Make another motherfucking lie today.
Damn.
And I'm gonna hold your tongue in my motherfucking hand. Wait, where that bitch ass Jedi? Jedi, come on, bring your spiritual senses here. Come on.
What the fuck is going on?
Come on, bitch. Let's have it. Do it, bitch. I'm ready for you now. Come on, bitch. Come on.
Oh yeah, nah, man. Look, listen. All jokes aside, she's going through something, right? Mentally, spiritually. All right. I mean, listen. I don't even know if I should really come at her hard. But because the first time I did, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like the first time I heard the story and I seen the red flags, I seen everything that was happening. Like people don't even realize that throughout those interviews that she was doing, she was making confessions. You see where I'm coming? But it was going over a lot of people's heads. And it's crazy that now that all this is resurfacing, a lot of people are starting to catch on to what a lot of us had said almost 10 years ago. This is crazy.
Leave all spiritual realm. Come on, you got this, Teresa. Come on. Let's have our war. Let's do our Facebook shit now, bitch. You showed me you the very one. See, the same thing make you laugh. See, I did all my motherfucking crime. That's why I can pack my motherfucking crime. I got a gold motherfucking crime, bitch. My daddy put it on me when I was a baby. He used to take my ass whoopers when I was young. Period.
What?
So what you think you'll do in the day to kill this motherfucking granddaughter? Probably the body part up. Did they close down that motherfucking Rosemont Police Department yet? In the Chicago Police Department with their crooked ass. Y'all bitch ass named us, and the only thing we can't do is say the fucking land. Y'all labeled us. Go do y'all research. Go up in there, raid that shit. They got us, and they probably that's the reason. So that explains why the FBI, y'all want to lock my brother up. And goddamn it, it's proof. Y'all tried to do everything y'all could. But ask the neighborhood. Neighborhood, I need y'all to write up on one of these. If y'all ever touch y'all life, just put 3 purple hearts. That's it. I'm the Lord motherfuckers that I know I count on. Don't say shit I did. Just put 3. If y'all know our family.
I don't know her family, so.
Our family. They had my brother Lannis up in jail. He went to jail at 12. He had mental health. It wasn't even that, it was a spiritual battle. As y'all can see, we so busy. That's why I'm like I am. I'm mad. Because we were so busy trying to fit along with y'all bitch ass and y'all tore us down. That's why we closed ourselves off in that fucking building at 1421. And I dare any one of y'all bitches to touch because I bless that bitch before I stop. See, ain't like y'all, I don't just throw it up, baby. I make sure I be able to pop my motherfucking colors before I pop my motherfucking colors. I ain't like that bitch ass. And that was Jedediah with the white shorts on, little doo-doo stain. And then that lady gave me a picture. We were laughing at it somewhere in my phone. I got so much motherfucking notes. I had to go, but that bitch ain't working. Now, I want to just slap the shit out you. This with a human hand. I want to fight you with motherfucking fist, bitch. Come on. I'm going to knock your ass to heaven. So it ain't to baptize your ass, that demon you got in you, bitch. You run around here, keeping it real. You made this beast come out of me when I saw you taking advantage of that old motherfucking man, bitch. That man, you bullying him, bitch. I'm bullying you with me and my people. Bitch, I want that bitch to have front row seat. Him and that bitch ass Andrew Holmes. That's how y'all bitches said. Y'all knew who I was. Y'all, they've been monitoring our family for the longest. And that's how I know the white man. Not excusing y'all know, fuck that. We the goddamn it, swear I explain nothing. If y'all think I'm racist, fuck y'all. If I gotta be racist to get my point across, bitch, I am. Ain't no more motherfucking racism. We all know one motherfucker black, one motherfucker white, one motherfucker whatever color. Y'all heard me say numerous times, my mama never taught us about racism. Because we looked at all humankind as one. Y'all so fucking dysfunctional. Not because of y'all. I'm talking to people who this need to apply to, no matter what color you is. They got, and if you got kids, they got us thinking. That's why if y'all notice throughout my page, when I found out, it's like my daddy, I didn't even know that was my daddy. He was sending me shit like, let them bitches know. Then to find out my mom is 20 years younger. So let R. Kelly out. I told y'all that's Johnny Boy. Him and Johnny took a picture together. Johnny used to have a radio station. He used to help the young boys in the community, try to bring them up, singing songs. R. Kelly, Salt and Pepper them was there and every motherfucker thing. They know I'm the shout out y'all. Y'all know I ain't lying about Johnny Mark.
Damn.
He tried to help people. That damn Tyrone, is he still living? Snake, I ain't forgot about you. And I don't know if that brown boy, I hope you an innocent person. I hope you clear-handed. That Tyrone, I know he took my brother fucking studio over there. And then that apartment over that part over there, 3808. I had an address over there. That used to be my brother's property. He paid for it. Used to be a restaurant on Cermak because they couldn't understand because we come up with money. We don't never, no matter how low we got. One thing, when my mama had to bring me back about the bridge, I got mad at y'all bitches that turned me to me. My mama had to question me about my motherfucking loyalty.
Oh shit. This is why, she is really going through something. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, if this isn't a script, all right, then Teresa has something to do with what happened to Kanika. Either she sold her daughter out for money or she played a role in the cover-up. Either way is demonic, all right? It's evil, it's twisted beyond comprehension. Because a real mother, a mother who feels the blood of her child in her veins, would have said, fuck that money. A real mother would have burned every dollar before letting it stand in the place of justice. But Teresa didn't, like, and that's the reality. Like, when money becomes more important than truth, motherhood becomes a transaction instead of a sacrifice show. Real shit.
No, when the fuck should my mama had to question? My mama ain't never had to question me. Because she know if a bitch didn't have her back, I did. That's why I'm mad. Then my motherfucking kids not want to talk. Don't call me. I'm talking.
So this portion of the live did get cut out. It looks like as she was talking, she started getting a phone call. And then this weird kind of like Christmas music. Sounds like it might have been her ringtone. Basically, the music was over her voice, so we could no longer hear.
All right. But listen. All right, so that part right there gets cut off. I know somebody had a longer version to that, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie. For a second, I wanted to believe she was playing them. I wanted to believe she took that money as a weapon that, she was gonna flip the script and fight back. and use it to expose the system. But once again, my gut was right. My gut told me that, this wasn't a strategy. It was, surrender. And that's the part that eats at me, because when you're a mother, you don't surrender your child's legacy for a payout. All right. You don't trade justice for silence. You don't let the system buy your grief. But Teresa, she did just that. And that's why people keep questioning her authenticity. All right. Like, there's so many theories about this case. It's crazy. Some say it was the hotel. Some say, it was the friends. Some say it was, a setup from the start. And then there's the theory that Teresa herself was complicit. We may never know the truth, because the truth has been buried under, settlements, under silence, under staged performances. But one thing I can say is that there's a lot eaten at Teresa. Like, you can see it in the way that she's, how can I say, unraveled herself. Like the way she surfaced years later with breakdowns that look less like grief and more like guilt crawling its way out. All right. Could it be her daughter haunting her? Maybe. Could it be the weight of knowing that, what really happened? I believe that that's what's killing her, because guilt is like a ghost that doesn't leave, right? It follows you into your sleep. It cracks your sanity. It makes you run naked in the streets when the mask finally slips. And that's the reality. That's a reality you can't hide from, all right? You can't hide from the cameras. You can't hide that, you can't hide behind a settlement. But how can I say? Because I'm mixing my words up real quick. Hold on. You could hide behind the cameras, right? And you could hide behind settlements, but you can't hide from the truth, all right? Like, the truth eats at you. It rots at you from the inside until performance collapse. And the demons that you tried to buy, all right, and bury, come crawling out. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, grief just looks different on her. Maybe the breakdown was delayed. Maybe the tears were locked away. All right. I don't know. I could really be wrong about all this. All right. Like, maybe she locked away these tears until the silence broke her. But even if that's the case, all right, the contradictions are too loud to ignore. All right. Like, let's be real, because when your child dies, all right, when a child dies in such a horrific way, the world expects rawness, not rehearsals. The world expects a mother to fight, not to fold. And Teresa's choices, whether complicit or just careless, left too many questions unanswered. All right, that's why the theories keep multiplying. All right, why the case refuses to die, why Kanika's name still echoes in every corner of the internet. On some real shit. So let me just say this about Teresa Martin's story, right? It's not just about grief. It's about accountability. It's about the way money, silence, all right? Silence. Let me put it like this. It's about the way money, silence, all right, and performance can twist the truth until nobody knows the real anymore. All right? And if she really knows what happened, if she's carrying that secret, then that's the weight that's killing her. Because you can fool the public, you can fool the cameras, but the one thing you cannot fool, all right, is your own soul. And that's the truth, all right? And the truth doesn't, die. It haunts, it eats you, it exposes, all right? It exposes everything one way or another, all right? And it always comes back. You can't hide, how can I say, you can't hide, you can't cover the world with one finger, all right? But enough of Teresa. Real shit. Let's talk Karlissa samples. All right? Because boy, oh boy, the circus around Karlissa and Blueface and Krishan feel like a script straight out of reality TV hell. All right? And maybe that's exactly what it is, a script. Chaos, manufactured drama, a storyline designed to keep, how can I say, clicks coming. All right? Like, Yeah, a story that keeps the clicks coming. All right. Like, listen, and the eyeballs glued into the TV. All right. But let's break down. Let's call out let's call out the truth. All right. Whether it's scripted or not, the damage is real because dysfunction dressed up as entertainment still poisons the culture. Right. And if it's not scripted, then that's even worse because it means the abuse, the accusations, the toxic mother-son dynamic is raw reality being broadcasted like it's normal. And I'm not going to sit here and lie. Right? It makes me sick to my stomach. All right. Because in real life, that, the kind of accusations Karlissa faces do exist. Mothers who, blur boundaries, who confuse control with love, who treat their sons like partners instead of children. That's not fiction. All right. That's generational trauma. And watching it play out on social media, watching it get likes, all right, and shares, watching people laugh at it like it's entertainment, that's the wildest part. Because dysfunction isn't funny. All right. It's not clout. It's not content. It's pain being normalized. And that's the reality. When pain becomes a punchline, the whole culture, all right, loses. So let's take a look at this real quick. All right. Give me 1 second, because I don't know what happened to my little shorts. Give me a second, guys. I got to get my shorts back. Give me 1 second.
In this world of blame and shame, we point fingers, we play the game. But as our children cry in fear, we turn a blind eye, we shed no tears. Believe our women, they say, while our kids are led astray. Lost in darkness, lost in pain, yet their cries fall silent like the rain. It's a shame how far we've come, blaming all the men playing dumb. But our children need us near to wipe their tears and calm their fears. In this land of the free, water's a commodity for you and me. Can't you see? It's not fair, it's plain to see. People struggling to pay for something they need every day. In America where we say we're free, but water shouldn't come at a fee. It's shorty just speaking in general about the things that seem so small. This ain't meant towards everyone, just a cry in the dark. In America where water is marked. Brothers and sisters, hear my plea. This is not about you or me. Our kids are the future, they hold the key. Wake up before we're met with defeat. In this world of chaos and strife, we must guide them to a better life. Teach them love, compassion, and light, so they can lead us out of this endless night. Let's unite as one strong force. For our children, let's stay on course. Together we can make a change and secure a better future in exchange. Y'all should have listened the first time they let the cat out the hat. Now it's a crime. Many are falling into a trap, thinking it's a game, but they full of cap. Some are ready and fully strapped, while others keep falling into the gap. The warning signs were clear as day, but some chose not to heed what they say. Now the consequences come to light. Those who ignored are in for a fight. Listen close and learn from this mishap. Don't be caught unaware, don't fall into the trap. From the wisdom of my elders I learned women are strong, independent and firm. But sometimes we need a helping hand to conquer challenges and make a stand. Independence is crucial, that's true. Yet together with a man we can pursue. Respect yourself first and foremost, so others will treat you like the most. Ladies growing up, remember this advice. You're capable of anything you devise, but partnership and respect go hand in hand. Embrace your strength and make a stand. Memories of the past I couldn't see, now I understand. The wisdom they gave me, respect yourself first, that's the key. To earn respect from others is how it should be. A man's worth measured by how he treats his queen. Love and romance in the air, a beautiful scene. A woman's power to uplift or demean. In her hands lies a man's dream. Lessons learned from an OG so true. In matters of the heart, they know what to do. Love and respect intertwined like glue. In a world where old-fashioned values still ring through. Peter Pan, Peter Pan, Peter Pan was a fairy tale. Now males want to be females without fail. Women want to be a man, it's a twisted tale. Flipping scripts and roles, they set sail. Fighting for roles, turning to moles. Making hits with their agenda goals. Targeting our kids, it takes a toll. To them it's a bliss, to us it's a black hole. They ain't trying to miss. Their agenda is the ultimate twist. Infiltrating young minds with their list, but we won't let them persist. I'm with women's rights, but what about men's too? Equality for all, it's long overdue. We want progress, we need to see both sides. Blame and shame won't help us unite. Don't label him a deadbeat without looking in the mirror. Sometimes it takes two to create rupture. Let's have conversations that include everyone. Empathy and understanding, the battles can be won. Men face struggles too, let's not forget. Their mental health matters, let's not neglect. It's time to break down walls and build bridges instead. Together we can strive for equality ahead. You scream for the police every time he come around. They scream child support abuse, playing victim in this town. Enjoy that check, boo, but remember what goes up must come down. The only time he's worthy is when he bails you out the mess you found. You play the game, manipulating hearts without a doubt, but karma's knocking at your door, there's no way out. You point fingers and shift the blame around, but in the end, it's your own chaos that you found. You dance with danger, living on the edge of lies, but the truth will catch up to you, no more disguise. The man you rely on to clean up your mess is so profound, will soon see through your facade and leave you astounded. Using a child as a weapon, it's a shame. A woman who lacks self-respect, I can't acclaim. Real men fighting for what they believe in, never in vain. Standing 10 toes down, bringing awareness to the pain. Respect is earned by how you carry yourself, not by tearing others down for personal wealth. Real men don't back down, they fight with honor and stealth against injustice and falsehoods that threaten our health. Let's uplift each other instead of tearing apart, supporting one another from the start. Real men stand tall with courage in their heart, fighting for justice and truth, playing their part. Here's for the men who share their truth, never afraid to stand tall in their boots, respecting our women, fighting for what's right, supporting our kids day and night. Real women out there blazing trails, men by their side never looking pale. Rights for all, let's keep the balance true. Men have a voice, let's listen to. In this crazy world where battles are fought, let's remember the men who give it all they've got. Respect to those who speak their stories loud. Together we stand strong and proud. Together we stand, united we'll rise, setting an example for young eyes. In every step we take, in every plan, guiding the next generation's hand. Leading by actions, not just by words, teaching them to fly like birds. Showing love and respect in all we do, for they're always watching, taking cues. Hand in hand, let's pave the way for a better tomorrow, starting today. Our children learn from what they see. Let's show them how great they can be. Let's be what our children need.
All right, y'all. Listen, I got 2 clips here, right? And like I told y'all, man, my opinion when it comes to, Karlissa and Blueface, if this shit is not scripted, man, something is way off, all right, with this mother-son duo. I'm not going to sit here and lie, all right? So I got sent 3 clips, all right? But I wanted to show them back to back, so I had to go into the content creators.
This lady likes to.
I had to go into
this lady likes to sabotage all my relationships.
YouTube. So here we go. Boom. All right, here we are. All right. So the way they be talking to each other, for me, it's kind of off, and I'm not sure if it's more the mom and the son. But then again, the son, listen, the apple don't fall far from the tree. And Blueface, his behavior kind of gets explained when you watch his mom's behavior. So let's take a look at these 3 little clips, all right?
Everyone I'm with, she likes to get in her head, sabotage it. This lady likes to sabotage all my relationships. Everyone I'm with, she likes to get in her head, sabotage it, try to be HBIC and start dictating my woman. You did that to Angela. You did that to Angela. What happened to Angela?
You ran Angela off. What are you talking about? You and Krishan did. That had nothing to do with me. I called her and told her, she here, pull up. I didn't side with you. I side with her. Yes, the baby mama is all of them is here.
So why would you tell her to pull up?
Because she said she was your girl, and you said she should have been there.
So you just like to just stir shit up.
That's not, Jonathan. You can keep trying to be funny. Me and Angela had our own personal relationship, and woman to woman, I wasn't going to be weird to her and be hanging out with you and Krishan and not explain to her what was going on. That's not how people handle things.
That wasn't her business to get.
Before you don't
sound like a mom. You sound like a.
Regular everyday.
What do you mean? That's not how people handle things.
I'm not your regular everyday mom.
What are you?
that did it mostly 90% by myself.
That's a lie.
That's a lie?
That's a lie.
Okay, John.
You were never single. You always had a man.
I'm talking about that ain't my man's responsibility to make sure
you were never single. You always had a man. Don't do that.
That's why.
Nevaeh, would you please come in here?
I hate when women got men and they say, well, I'm a single mom. I'm doing it by myself. But you got a whole man right next to you, helping you and supporting you. Why do you have to treat your child, your son, like he's your husband? I never understood that in certain women. I'm not going to sit here and lie. So I can see why she's getting a lot of backlash.
And tell Jonathan so that we're clear before I leave.
My woman is cleaning up right now. Let her do what she's doing.
Already.
No. We woke up already. We slept and woke up.
Here, I'm talking to my son.
This lady likes to sabotage all my relationships. Everyone I'm with, she likes to get in her head, sabotage it, try to be HBIC and start dictating my woman. You did that to Angela. What happened?
All right, that one's repeating.
Hey now, you mad because I ain't never did none of that nasty ghetto ass shit. You're mad because she was sucking NBA young boy dick though, huh? You're mad.
Hold on, wait a minute. She just said you're mad because I ain't never do none of that nasty ass shit. You mad because she's sucking NBA young boy eggplant? Hold on, wait a minute. Why would he be mad? Listen, wait a minute. Why would a son want his mom to give him head? What's up with you, Karlissa?
You're mad. You're mad. You're mad.
Baby,
You're mad. Yes, keep cleaning up. I didn't say no name.
She's trying to go.
So what you talking about?
I
didn't post you today.
She's trying to go viral, baby. Yeah.
You don't respect me, period. Keep cleaning up. Wait. Hey now, you mad because I ain't never did none of that.
Yo, she gonna be coming. Nevaeh now, what is her name? Right, I think that's what it is, if I'm not mistaken. Yo, this shit is wild. I never heard of him talking about a son's sex life. What the fuck is wrong? I just asked that question, dude. She is the worst mom trying to live through her son. I mean, I think so, on some real shit. The way she's so invested in her son's business is cringe. Man, real shit.
You're a liar.
Okay.
And that's why you went to jail, because you're the liar.
Because I tell the truth. You're
lying. You're lying right now. She just said she came over the gate. She had her leg over the gate and her hands and her arms on me. And I didn't know who the fuck it was. So when I turned around, yes, I moved her back, but I still didn't know why she was on me. That's not in my head like, oh, Jonathan's girlfriend is here and she's getting ready to hop over the fucking gate. For what? She could have just pointed to you and told you to come get her. But no, what you say? I ain't bring sand to the beach. Now am I a liar? Thank you. That's what you did last time too. You play games with me.
I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
Jonathan, you play too many games.
Come on, bring sand to the beach. I brought sand to the beach.
I asked you, why didn't you just have her go around and come in the gate with you?
Mom, the section had a gate around with this much space.
So how did she get on me?
Listen, it had this much space to walk through.
Jonathan, I don't like when you disrespect me and nobody likes it. Okay, nobody likes that shit.
Who's disrespecting?
She already told you.
Mom, she's gonna stroke your ego because she's a respectful young lady. She's not gonna.
Yo, he's saying she's gonna stroke your ego because she's a respectful young leader. My bad, young lady. Yo, I can't with him, and he corrected that so fast. So she's not a leader, Blueface. She's just a young lady.
Go against what you're saying.
She's not that.
Regardless, she's not going to go against what you're saying.
Go against what I'm saying. She already went against what I'm saying.
What? When?
When she didn't stand here and tell you that was a big misunderstanding.
And
I jumped over a gate.
She's not going to go against you for me.
Over the gate, and I landed on your mama because somebody pushed me. She turned around and your mama was in go mode. That's exactly
why is my mama in go mode?
Because you dating every weirdo in the fucking nation.
What I gotta do with you?
No, I'm not talking about
so
her.
what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the last couple people that wrote on the wall in blood, and then the last old lady.
Mom, you talking about 3 years ago, man.
What?
Update yourself.
Update yourself. Okay, what about the last one that just got on the internet and fooled everybody?
Did she put her hands on you?
What did she called me out for a fight?
Did she put her hands on you?
She called me out for a fight.
Why his girl look like a little kid out here peeking through the door like, oh shit, mommy and daddy are fighting. What the hell is going on? Yo, this shit is wild. All I could do is laugh right now. Right? But me personally, I wouldn't watch this. This is not something that I would sit here. Oh man, look, listen, my show's about to come on. Hell no.
I thought was your sister. Y'all was on.
You're a liar.
Okay.
All right, so we got that right there. Now let's get into this one. Let me see. Is it this one? Yep, I think so. Let me see. Hold on, because I have to make sure it's on YouTube. Let me change to the premium because I don't feel like I'm ready. Let's switch. Okay, I gotta fast forward this drawn up a little bit because I definitely. So shout out to the real Miss J. All right. All right, so we're gonna fast forward a little bit right here. All right, and this video comes from the real Miss SJ. All right, shout out to everybody that send me these videos. All right, I appreciate y'all because I definitely don't got the time to put these videos together because I don't watch these people at all. I definitely, this is not a show that I would sit here and say, hey, I like watching this. No, hold on one second. This shit got this. We back. All right, so let's check out what the room is SJ got to say. All right, I fast forwarded a little bit. All right, so that we could see where Blueface, I guess his mom. Listen, I don't know. In this part right here, according to the video, all right, Blueface calls out his mom and tells her that she's not his type. I'm just like, listen, this is not the normal type of mother-son relationship, all right? Not out here in the real world, all right? And nowhere else. But one thing I could sit here and tell you is that this sickness does exist, all right? It exists within our communities. It exists everywhere. It don't matter where you at, what city, what state you're in, what county, what country, all right? We got women out here that see their sons, as men. We got men out here that see their daughters as grown women. All right. Why? I can't understand that sickness. But we all do know it's caused by a trauma.
I am not scared to anoint no door for my child. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we command any demons out in the name of Jesus. Why the hell you got on a towel?
Don't work.
You live in this workplace. People don't realize that, you got a lot of my ways.
Yeah.
The good ones and the bad ones, unfortunately. I'm good. You left me hanging the other day out on the porch. I heard you in here laughing, too. How you shooting a love show and you got love here? We had that last incident, and I thought you thought probably it was something else. And then when
Hold on, wait a minute. So Blueface about to do what this young boy did too. DDG shooting a love show while he had a girlfriend. Why are these men doing this? Looking for love in all the wrong places. And this is supposed to be entertainment, but it becomes
it came out, you probably realized.
No, we didn't realize nothing other than you're a problem. You need to grow up.
I'm never gonna let nobody be on the back of me, baby. Whether it's even if it would have been my friend.
I didn't say Krishan, whoop your ass, man.
So what are you saying, Jonathan?
I'm saying I need you to be a mother, not a networker, not a baddie, not a squawker, a motherfucker.
I'm not about to let nobody in no club.
Yo, that's wild when a son has to tell his mother this, man. Yo, I'm glad I don't watch this shit, yo. I do watch content creators that review and react to these shows, all right? I'm not going to sit here and lie, all right? Tyron Motif is one that I watch, all right? I love watching his content. He talks about different things, and he does review and react to the reality, show of, I don't know if it's a show or what the fuck is going on. A Blueface, Krishan, the baddies and all that stuff, all right? I catch up to his lives, all right? I watch a little bit of it. I'm not really into these TV shows like that. You see where I'm coming from? But I will watch a little bit to, how can I say, get different perspectives. All right. I will watch podcasters. I'm going to rephrase that. I will watch a podcast to review and react to the show. All right.
Yeah.
So what are you saying, Jonathan?
I'm saying I need you to be a mother, not a networker, not a baddie, not a squatter, not a motherfucker.
I'm not about to let nobody in no club jump on my back over no gate.
I'm about to show you.
Listen, yo, listen. He said, not a baddie, not a networker.
I'm never gonna let nobody be on the back of me, baby. Whether it's even if it would have been my friend.
I ain't saying Krishan, whoop your ass, man.
So what are you saying, Jonathan?
I'm saying I need you to be a mother, not a networker, not a baddie, not a squatter, not a motherfucker.
I'm not about to let nobody in no club jump on my back over no gate.
I'm about to show you the video.
I have no reason to lie. Don't call me no liar, Jonathan. Jonathan, let her talk because of this.
Yo, this is crazy. Listen, the way Karlissa and Blueface's relationship is portrayed online, all right, does look like she wants her son in ways that cross boundaries. And that's not just messy, it's dangerous because kids raised in homes where boundaries don't exist grow up thinking dysfunction is love. All right, they grow up repeating cycles, confusing abuse, and abuse for affection. All right, chaos for care. And when you broadcast that to millions, you're not just failing your own child, right? You're teaching generations that toxic love is acceptable. That the sickness that's the sickness that the stomach, all right, turning reality. And that's why this story hits harder than just gossip on some real shit, right? Let's call out the bullshit, right? The normalization of it all right? Like, let's call that shit out. Like, because in real life, like, these dynamics exist beyond closed doors, right? Behind, like, hidden in silence, buried in shame, like, on some real shit, like, but now they're being paraded on social media like it's entertainment. And the wild part is, right, people eat it up. They comment, they share, they meme it, they laugh at it. But what they don't realize is that every laugh is another layer of normalization, right? Every share is another stamp of approval. And that's how dysfunction becomes culture. That's how abuse gets disguised as entertainment. And, that's how cycles keep, spinning. Karlissa Sappho's story isn't just about her. It's about the way social media rewards chaos. It's about the way platforms profit off pain, off toxic relationships, right? Off of blurred boundaries. And it's about the way audiences consume it without thinking about the real life consequences, right? Because somewhere out there, a kid is watching, right? A kid is watching this and thinking that this is normal, that this is love, this is how family works. And that's not reality, right? The truth is that when dysfunction becomes the blueprint, the next generation inherits the mess. So let me just say this, all right? Whether scripted or real, the Karlissa Blueface Krishan saga, all right, is a symptom of a bigger sickness. It's the sickness of turning trauma into entertainment, of turning abuse into clout, of turning dysfunction into culture. And if you're watching it thinking it's just drama, just entertainment, just another storyline, you're missing the point. Because in real life, this exists. In real life, kids are scared. Scared by it, all right? In real life, families are broken by it. And, making it seem okay, that's the wildest, the most dangerous lie of it all. I'm not going to sit here and lie. All right? So now we got these shorts floating around where Blueface straight up tells his mom, all right, she's not his type. Like he's, talking to a woman who wants him, not his mother. And that's wild because every video I see of Karlissa, she does move like she's his wife, not his mom. The energy, the tone, the way she inserts herself, it explains a lot about the chaos we see in, his relationships. And whether it's scripted or not, the fact that it even looks like that, it's disturbing because boundaries matter, right? And when a mother blurs them, the whole family pays the price.
Be my last time playing with you and your people, because I don't like how you. Me and her apologize.
I don't care. You're a liar.
You're a liar. All I want to know is before Jonathan got there, did me and you already kiki and give hugs and kisses? So there was no reason for me to turn around and body slam you off of me. Who the fuck are you calling Krishan? Why are you calling me Krishan? You would turn a bitch from a crip to a blood, have them barking at the door. Can you have them turn to Jesus Christ?
It's that simple. You're not my woman, Mom.
And I would never, ever, ever use a motherfucking lie. Ain't now one of them niggas stepped up and said.
He said, it's that simple. You ain't my woman. Like, for a son to have to tell you that is wild.
And body slam you off of me? Who the fuck are you calling Krishan? Why are you calling me Krishan? You would turn a bitch from a crip to a blood, have them barking at the door. Can you have them turn to Jesus Christ?
It's that simple. You're not my woman, Mom.
And I would never, ever, ever use a motherfucking lie. Ain't now one of them niggas stepped up and said they hit this. Use a goddamn lie. You gonna give me the goddamn money or not?
What the fuck is going on? Like, and this is what she calls her reality show, right? Like, this is supposed to be a part of her reality show. Let me see what she says.
Y'all want to know what's so ironic about this whole thing is those freaking Bible pillows that Krishan bought are sitting there in the background. Okay,
Wow.
that girl, her evil spirit is definitely still roaming around that house. Okay, let's just.
Man, I don't think it's just all on Krishan, right? I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like, they keep saying Krishan. This is not all just on her, right? This whole family is like really traumatized. Listen. I can't picture myself being so nosy, so caught up in my son's life that I'm in every relationship he has. That's not motherhood, right? That's obsession disguised as care. My job as a mother is to guide, right? Rear and protect until my kids can stand on their own. And once they've grown, they grow up. Once they create a life of their own, my role shifts. I step aside. I let them live. I only step back in if they come to me for something. All right. That's the natural order. Anything else is control, and control is not love, yo. I don't care how many people say, yeah, oh, that's love. That's not love, right? That's control. Karlissa's behavior shows us, all right, what happens when mothers refuse to step aside. It creates chaos. It breeds dysfunction. It makes sons confused about where love ends and control begins. And when that dysfunction gets broadcasted on social media, it becomes culture. People laugh, people share, people name it. But underneath the entertainment, all right, it is a blueprint of toxic parenting. And that's the truth. When you act like your son's partner instead of his parent, you're not just failing him, right? You're teaching the world that dysfunction is normal. So whether this saga is scripted or not, the damage is real, because kids raised in homes where boundaries don't exist grow up thinking chaos is love. They grow up repeating cycles, confusing abuse, for affection, control for care. And when millions of people watch that play online, it's not just one family's mess. It's a generational lesson being taught in real time. That's why it makes me sick to my stomach, because dysfunction isn't entertainment. It's trauma being normalized. And this mom, all right, running around, walking around, portraying to be like, her son's son's wife, that right there, that's sick, right? The crazy part about it is that people, take this as entertainment. All right. If this isn't scripted, all right, and I still think it is, then this family, right, is drowning in trauma that spills out into the airways like smoke from a fire. Right? Like you can see it you can see it in their words, their actions, their relationships. It's not just dysfunction, it's pain turned into performance. All right. And that's the dangerous part. That pain is contagious. It spreads through screens, right? Through followers, through the culture, until people start thinking chaos is normal. That's the sickness of social media. Trauma doesn't stay private, right? It becomes entertainment. Respect yourself, right? That's the key. Because when you don't respect yourself, you teach the world to disrespect you. And when you broadcast dysfunction without boundaries, you teach your followers that disrespect is acceptable. All right. That's why this saga is so dangerous. It's not just about Karlissa, Blueface, or Krishan. It's about the millions watching, absorbing, all right, mimicking. It's about the kids who see this and think this is how family works. All right. Listen, when you fail to respect yourself, you fail to, lead by example. And the next generation inherits that mess. Healing is the only way out, because trauma doesn't disappear. It leaks. All right. It infects, it repeats. And if this family doesn't heal their plan, all right, will keep pouring out, poisoning every relationship, every headline, every follower who thinks dysfunction is love. Healing means stepping back, setting boundaries, repairing instead of, performing. It means leading by example, showing your kids and your community that respect is not optional, it's survival. Without that, the cycle spins forever. All right? And I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, this lady right here really needs to sit down. All right? Ask her husband for the money. Her son is not her man. All right? Like, let him live his life. Let him stumble. Let him learn. That's the assignment of motherhood. God protect, rear until they can stand on their own. But once they're grown, once they're built their own, their own families, your role as a mother, it shifts. All right? Like, you got to learn how to step aside to let them handle their own affairs, because when you keep interfering, when you keep inserting yourself into every relationship, you're not protecting. All right, you're suffocating, and suffocation doesn't raise men. All right, it raises brokenness. Where's her husband? Like, I thought she was really married, like, because at the rate Jonathan is going, all right, he's gonna be a lonely man. He ain't never gonna have nobody. All right, if his mother keeps playing gatekeeper, like, keeps sabotaging, keeps turning his relationships into, battlegrounds. Interference is not love, right? It's control. And control disguised as care will leave him empty, bitter, and alone. A mother's job, right, is to prepare her son for independence, not, chain him to her shadow. This lady is really sad, all right? And so are our kids, because what we're watching isn't, just drama. It's dysfunction paraded in front of millions. They're all playing in our faces, turning trauma into entertainment. All right, chaos into clout, and people eat it up, forgetting, that behind the clicks and the, shares are real lives being poisoned. That's the sickness of social media. It rewards toxicity. It amplifies dysfunction. I mean, the internet has its pros and cons. So does social media. You see where I'm coming from? But shit, so much toxicity in social media platforms. Like, it amplifies dysfunction and normalizes pain. And when you broadcast your brokenness, don't be surprised when the world calls it out. All right? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like, we have to let this toxic behavior go. We can find better entertainment, better stories, better examples to feed our minds, all right, and our kids. Because while you're watching the saga unfold, your children are watching too. They're picking up, the cues, absorbing the dysfunction, learning the chaos, is love. All right, and interference is care. And that's all you need to know. If you want your child to repeat it, then why are you consuming it like content? Like it's, like it's content. Yeah, I said it right. Like, I'm not telling anyone what to do. All right, I'm just speaking my opinion. But, opinions matter when they shine light on cycles that need to be broken. And my opinion is this: respect yourself, respect your kids, respect the boundaries that make families, healthy. Because, when mothers act like wives, when sons are treated like partners, all right, when dysfunction becomes entertainment, the whole culture suffers. And if, nobody has said it yet, I'll say it today. This family needs healing, not headlines. Real shit. Like, this woman really thinks that her son is, how can I say, that her son is, her boyfriend. Like, that's what's sick. Like, she's got a whole husband, so why can't he help her out? Why is her son, fresh out of prison, being treated like her man instead of her child? Let him run his bag. Let him breathe. Let him live. Because, the way you move, Karlissa, it looks like motherhood. How can I say? It looks less, I'm going to put it like this. Yeah, it looks less like motherhood and more like possession. And possession is not love. All right, it's control dressed up in chaos. Like, I said it earlier. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and Blueface is living proof. The way he behaves, the way he treats women, the way he picks partners, it all mirrors the blueprint his mother laid down. Let's be real. He's choosing women who behave like his mother, and he's treating them, the way she likes being treated, I guess. All right, that's not a coincidence. That's conditioning. All right, that's trauma passed down like inheritance. And it shows in every headline, every clip, every messy relationship. Karlissa, you got more game than your son. And that's the problem, because instead of teaching him how to build, how to heal, how to stand, you're competing with him. You're inserting yourself into his relationships, his choices, his life, like you're the main character. But motherhood isn't about being a star. It's about being, how can I say, the foundation. And when you confuse the two, you don't raise a man. You raise a mirror of your own dysfunction. All right? Then you got women like, K. Michelle. Shout out to K. Michelle. Love her music, man. Making songs like You Can't Raise a Man. All right? Blueface has a lot of trauma that needs healing. You can see it, all right, in the ways he lashes out, the way he loves, the way he fights. But here's the truth, all right? Healing doesn't happen just because he wants it, all right? I said that wrong. I really said that. I had to take a minute and think about what I just said. Listen, put it like this. Healing doesn't just come because you want it for someone, all right? Like, the person has to want it, all right? The person has to want to, heal themselves. Like, he has to step out of the shadow and break the cycle and choose repair over repetition. And until he does, the chaos will keep spinning, all right? The headlines will keep coming, and the trauma will keep bleeding into every relationship he touches. Karlissa, all right? And I know she's not going to watch this. My channel is small, all right? But I'm still going to say this. Karlissa, you're not just interfering, all right? You're infecting, all right? You're teaching your son that dysfunction is love, that control is care, that chaos is normal, and he's repeating it over and over with every woman he chooses. That's the generational curse right there. And until both of you decide to heal, until both of you decide to break that cycle, the apple will keep falling from the same tree, rotten before it hits the ground. All right? Like, this shit is wild. Listen. Let me put this on real quick, and then I'm going to say what I got to say. Because this should be wild. In the old days, love was pure and true. Now it's just a show for all to view. People use it for their own gain, leaving hearts in sorrow and pain. Once a sacred bond. It's just that, in real life, their noses don't grow. Karma just can't. Man, things be wild. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie, right? I always tell the guys who come to me after a breakup, right? Listen, slow down. Don't jump right into, bed with somebody new. Don't chase the next body just to fill the silence. Take a break. Sit with yourself. Figure out who you are, what you want, what you're willing to give. and what you refuse to tolerate, because sex without understanding is just distraction, and distraction never heals. Right? It only delays the pain, and history has shown us over and over. Right? It backfires. It never works out. But a lot of people, I guess, fail to sexually mature somehow. But how can you fail like that? Shit. Anyways, listen. See, when you rush into intimacy without clarity, you're not building love. Right? You're building chaos. You're dragging your old wounds into a new bed, and those wounds bleed on people who didn't cut you. Right? That's why I say it's not about being mean. Right? It's about being real. Healing takes time. Self-discovery takes patience. And if you don't give yourself that pause, all right, you end up repeating the same cycle, chasing the same dysfunction, and wondering why happiness keeps slipping right through your fingers. Right? And let's talk about Blueface. All right, until he stops seeking love in all the wrong places, until he stops chasing what he never got from his mother, he will never be happy. All right, that's the reality right here. You can't find in a woman what your mother failed to give you. You can't heal childhood wounds by repeating them in adulthood. Every relationship, right, he touches is a reflection of that missing piece, that unresolved trauma, that, that hunger for validation he never received at home. And until, he faces that, every love will, turn into another headline, another fight, another failure. Right? Love isn't supposed to be a replacement for parenting. Love isn't supposed to be a therapy for wounds you refuse to acknowledge. Love is supposed to be partnership, respect, growth. But when you're seeking what you never got from your mom, you're not looking for a partner, right? You're looking for a parent. And that's why it keeps collapsing, because no woman, all right, can mother a grown man into healing. That's work he has to do himself. So my advice stands. Take the break. Right? Sit with yourself, heal before you touch another body, before you drag another soul into your storm. Because until you do, you'll keep repeating the same cycle. Right? Mistaking chaos for love, mistaking control for care. And Blueface is the perfect example of what happens when you don't pause, when you don't heal, when you keep chasing love in all the wrong places. Happiness doesn't live there. Right? It lives in the repair you keep avoiding. That's what's happening with Blueface, all right? At the end of the day, what we were watching isn't just two mothers, all right, or one son. It's a blueprint of, how can I say, cycles that keep repeating when boundaries are broken and healing is ignored. Teresa's contradictions, Karlissa's interference, Blueface trauma. All of it is connected. It's the same story told in different ways. Parents who fail to step aside, children who inherit pain instead of guidance, family who turn dysfunction into performance. And here's the truth, all right? We don't have to keep consuming, all right, this as entertainment. We don't have to normalize chaos. We don't have to let trauma become culture. Respect yourself, respect your kids. Respect the boundaries that make families healthy. That's the real lesson. Because love without respect is control. Parenting without sacrifice is abandonment, and healing without accountability is impossible. So my final word, all right, is this. Let's stop clapping for the dysfunction and start demanding repair. Let's stop laughing at trauma and start breaking cycles. Let's stop treating chaos like content and start, how can I say, treating it like, the warning it is. Because if we don't, the next generation will inherit the same mess. All right, and the apple will keep falling from the same rotten tree. And I refuse to let that be the legacy that I pass on down. All right, I'm not going to pass down trauma. So I'll heal. And with that being said, all right, ain't nobody asked to, drop the link. I'm going to end this live. I think we've already hit, 2 hours, all right, into this live. I appreciate anybody that came through, that stopped through, shorty support, rocked out with a shorty, all right, because y'all didn't have to be here, but y'all came, all right, y'all rocked out with me. I think some of y'all had conversations, I don't know, I was into this, John. Listen, I wanted to get it out there, all right, because if I stopped and looked at the chat, I wouldn't be able to get every thought out, and guess what, taking notes, all right, on my computer on what it is that I want to get out there, all right, it wasn't going to help. I'll get thrown off track. Like, listen, when they tap me on the shoulder and I'm thinking about something, like, oh shit, what the fuck was I about to just say? Yeah, that's how it be. All right. But man, look, listen, it's the system versus us. All right, on some real shit. But the problem here is that we're looking outside for the answers that we're seeking, when the answers that we're seeking come from within. All right, guys. Do I have that in here? Oh, wait, I don't even have to put the background. Boom. Shit.
Religiously understand the 7 principles of hell, you'll understand the 7 demons. Religiously understand the 7 principles of hell, you'll understand the 7 demons within you. You'll understand that whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We'll go over that, but anyway.